Okay. Hey friends. I had a little bit of a technical snafu, obviously, because Mercury retrograde's been like that, but I'm over here on the things. Okay, hi! Hi, hello everybody. Woohoo! I'll have to get used to your usernames on Instagram. Although I think some of you are here on the Facebook group too. Hi. Hi Rosa, hi Amanda. Hi Katie, hi Jen. Hi Leanne, hi Tisha. Well, welcome to the first episode of Spirits in Spirit. Let me let my cat out of here so he doesn't bother us. Go. All right. So I'm gonna start by making my cocktail, and I named it the Aquarius Stellium because I'm so, funny. But this is actually, generally speaking, if you're not making this cocktail tonight, this is a recipe, like a ratio recipe that will work for any alcohol spirit that you want to use. It's basically 2 ounces of a spirit, about half an ounce to an ounce if you like things sweeter, of some sort of sweetness, and then half a squeeze of a lemon or a lime, and you shake that puppy up and it's always good. So it just always is. So I'm gonna go ahead and make mine. Enjoy the ASMR. So I'm using Black Label Scotch. So I'm putting 2 ounces of that into my beautiful shaker. And maybe give me like a splash more. Waste not, want not. And then I'm gonna squeeze my lemon. Oh my gosh, my Facebook is like really, woo. If you have Instagram, people watching in my group, pop over there. They look better. All right, so I'm squeezing half of a lemon. And at some point I'll get my setup better so you can see this, but I can't do it all. So just squeeze half of a lemon, and does it have to be fresh? Yeah, it really does. It has to be fresh because if it's not, it's bad. It's not delicious. So fresh is important. And then I'm using orgeat syrup. You can use any sweet syrup. So simple syrup is fine, which is just equal parts sugar and water that you can just put on a pan and boil it down. Whatever is sweet. Maple syrup will work too, but I'm using half an ounce because I don't like it too sweet, but I like it a little bit sweet. And then get ready for loud noises. You have to shake it a lot, like a lot. So much that it seems excessive, but the icier it is, the more delicious it is. And you should be able to see like how frosty it is. Oh my gosh, and do you know what I don't have? No, I'm taking care of it. I didn't have my pretty glass. I'm just gonna use this jar that, that I used to have my scotch in. That's where we're at today. And there you have it. Happy Aquarius Stellium. It's really good. If you like the taste of scotch, adding lemon and a little sweetness to it is just delicious. So, yay, here we are. Whew. Hi. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Lisa. Hello. All right, so Matt says he's making the same mix over here, but with gin and a little bit of seltzer. Good call too, right? Because if this is too boozy for you, then just add in something fizzy. Club soda, little Sprite, little squirt. I'm not judging, put whatever you want in there. Also, if you do not drink alcohol, it's fine. Just drink whatever you want. And we will do this, whatever we're doing tonight. I'm just kidding, I know what we're doing. Hi, Ella. So if you guys are, for some reason, on Facebook, I cannot see your comments. So I'm sorry, but like I said, if you have Instagram, go there. It'll look better. Instagram. Okay. So guys, I bet you're like, okay, what are we doing here besides drinking? Well, this week, was it this week or was it last week? Jen, I don't know. Whenever it was, this council came through. And it's been kind of crazy for me because it's something that I'm not really comfortable with. I've been channeling, but it just felt like such a big jump to then suddenly be connected with a council that says they're from Andromeda. And I'm starting to become more comfortable with all of these weird things happening. And they were so very clear that this is what they wanted me to do. And that I could have a cocktail and then I could channel. And so much has come through already with them that has kind of blown my mind, and Jen's mind too, because Jen is like my unofficial, like, what do you want to call, like, we call her scribe, but there's like an elevated way of saying this because she is like priestess of the first order, and she's so good at making me feel comfortable and asking me the right questions so that I can interface with these beings in a meaningful way. So she's been so helpful at helping me to kind of facilitate this connection. So thank you so much, Jen. And I may be pulling her in here at some point if she needs to ask questions. You never know. But first I'll tell you a little bit. Oh, hi, Stephanie. Oh, and hi, Crystal. And hi, Fiza. Okay, Christine. Hey, Tina. So first, I'm going to tell you a little about the council. They are really funny. They have an amazing sense of humor, and they are just, it's almost like they've been waiting so long till it, like, for me to finally be able to be like, oh yeah, I can understand what you're saying now. But they're just so happy to connect, and just kind of like very, almost like a sibling energy. Very, like, lots of teasing and like, don't take it so seriously and like whatever. So they came through and they gave me this riddle, and they said we're 5 and sometimes 7. So are we 2 or 12? And I was like, like, I don't do numbers. Everybody knows this. I can't even tell what date it is ever half the time. So that kind of came through, and they thought that was really funny, that it just broke my brain. But what then was clarified is that they are sometimes 5 beings and there are sometimes 7 present. And sometimes in one being, there will be more than one consciousness. So sometimes there's 5 physical beings, sometimes there's 7, but they kind of interchange consciousnesses sometimes. So I don't think it's super important, but it is interesting. They also do, when they interface with me in this way, they're formally sitting at a crescent-shaped table. And so that is why we call them the Purple Crescent. And they said the color is actually more like violet, but they know that I have a lot of connotations with violet, and so we're just calling it purple. So that's why I said they've agreed to let me call it the Purple Crescent. And oh, hello. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. And so the important thing to know is that when you give a name to something, that's not the end all be all. For us, especially like where we are in our humanness, names are just ways for us to connect on a deeper level and also to recall specific energy. So if I am wanting to connect with this energy over and over again, it helps me as a person who has grown up and been in this society for so long using names, to use a name, because the name tags an energy signature, and that allows me to say like a few words and bring forth that energy. Does that make sense? So we needn't get too hung up on names, because somebody else may be connecting to this very same council and they call it something totally different, but it's still the same energy coming through. So we don't have to get hung up on it. But for me, they're the purple crescent. I feel very connected to them. It's almost like home feeling for me, which is interesting because I don't think when I had my star chart, well, no, maybe I did have Andromeda in my star chart. I don't know, whatever. But they're really beautiful with purplish skin, and they have varying degrees of purple skin, and some of them are not purple at all. So, but the ones that appeared to me are like that, with long limbs and a somewhat androgynous look to them. I do believe that when I am seeing them, they are expressing in a way that would be most pleasing for me to see. And so if you are having experiences like this too, also keep that in mind, because oftentimes these energies that are connecting with it, it's like they've been asking to connect with us for so long, and we finally got to the place in our consciousness where we could connect. And so they're really trying to bridge that gap and not totally blow our brains apart. So a lot of times when you see, you'll be seeing something that makes sense for you. And so I believe that's what's happening for me, because that is, for me visually, it's really nice. Like if they had expressed themselves like little tiny aliens with big heads and big eyes, that would not really work for me, for my comfort level. It wouldn't make me feel as connected to them. So good job, Purple Crescent. Also, side note, I have several different skulls, and this here is Rocket. And I've had Rocket for quite some time, and the only thing he ever told me was when I first got him, he said, "I'm here at a party." And then he never said anything again. And so I was like, oh, okay, maybe he's meant for somebody else, and I'll see them at some point and, give him to them. But I had a photo shoot maybe a month ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, I can't really recall, but recently I had a photo shoot, and Rocket, Rocket, Crystal, I almost gave him to you, I think, at some point, or was that somebody else? But anyway, he's been like sitting in my windowsill, and the photographer was like, ooh, I want to get that Crystal in on the shots, and I'm like, that's not Peony though, like she's gonna be pissed off. Peony's my other skull. But if she's like, no, that one. And so we went with it. And as soon as I picked him up and allowed him to be in the photo shoot, oh boy, Rocket's been activated. He's like, woo, here to party. So Rocket is actually very connected to the Andromedan energy. And if you notice, he has that beautiful titanium coating. And this is the way that he is expressing his Andromedan self with that beautiful blue skin. So, stupid Instagram. So anyway, that is the story about that. So I have Rocket more front and center than I ever have before. Peony is still here, and in fact, she's right here because I didn't want her to feel like she's not important anymore just because we're doing this, you know what I'm saying? But Rocket does like to party, and I will tell you that I have hesitated to, you may not believe me because it doesn't seem like I hesitated, but I had thoughts within myself that oh, is this gonna be a problem to get on here and make cocktails and then do channeling at the same time? But the truth of the fact of the matter and all the things is that I really need the cocktail to calm me down to do this kind of channeling. So it's totally fine. And the Scotch seems to agree with me. So if you have any questions for the council, put them here and we will ask them. They come through very organically, so most of the times it's probably going to seem like I'm just talking. Also, other things might come through. I don't really know. But when I'm connected to this frequency, other things do tend to come through as well. So any questions you have at all, pop them in there. And I'm going to go ahead and take a little deep breath and just kind of connect. All right? And enjoy your cocktails. All right, so we're gonna be talking first about upgrades. They want us to know that they are very much aware that we are collectively being upgraded, but there are, what's this, I'm gonna say the word levels. Think of it as okay, phases, like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Think of it that way. If you are tuning in to this broadcast right now and it's holding your attention, you are in an early adopter phase of frequencies, which means you are probably going through a hell of a time with ascension symptoms right now. The reason for that is that if everybody were to be upgraded at the same frequency at the same time, it would be like craziness. And we don't need more of that. So they're saying that there are integrated phases with the different levels of frequency upgrades that are being given out at this time. So everybody on planet Earth right now is receiving upgrades, but the intensity and level of those upgrades are dependent upon what phase you're in. So some people have not agreed to be in this first phase at all. And so everybody's made choices. It may seem like they haven't made choices, but don't let that distract you, whatever that means. But there are so many frequencies coming in and upgrading our physical bodies and our emotional structures and our mental structures at this time. Put a pin. I have a question. Crystal's asking, do you work with any dragons, angels, or other elementals? So this is an interesting question. They understand what you're asking, but they're showing me that on Andromeda, what we call dragons, not angels, dragons and elementals are like cats and dogs for them. So the short answer is yes, but the long answer is these beings are free to come and go in on Andromeda as our accepted beings are on Earth. Does that make sense, Crystal? Now, angels are a totally different thing, and they would like to remind you that angels are not connected to dragons. Angels are not connected to elementals. Angels are connected directly to source energy in a very specific way. And they are not the authority on angels. They don't know everything about angels. The Andromedans are humanoid. So imagine us like 3,000 years from now. The first time I had any contact with an Andromedan energy, they literally showed me them, like one of them with their beautiful skin, taking their boots off in a mud room. And they said, see, we're just like you guys. We take our shoes off. And so they're very humanoid, but just super ascended in the energetic vibration. So it's different, but also there's similarities there. I hope that answers your question, Crystal. I should have brought things here for me to make more than one cocktail. Lesson learned. All right, again, if you have any questions, please send them in. If you are watching me on the Facebook group, I'm so sorry. I cannot see any questions in there for some reason. Is there a way I can change that? No. Okay. So if you have the ability, hop on the Instagram. Rosa's asking, what does the meaning 358 have for me? They don't know what 358 means for you. I'm so sorry. I should preface this by saying they kind of have a little bit of, like, they do have a sense of humor and they really don't mince words. Anyway, they are saying you should Google it and that it will have some sort of message hidden in the message that's probably what you need at the time. But they would like to answer the broader question that you're asking or not asking. They would like to talk about numbers. I'm sorry, Rosa. Google that shit. And that is that as I have, they're like Aceros, as I have been understanding, the frequency of numbers is a magic all of its own self. It's code. And so, yeah, there's meanings, but sometimes there isn't meanings. So, you know, look it up and see how you feel, is basically what they're saying. Claudia says, hi, would they like us to be mission focused to help support them? They say hi. They do not understand your question because are you not mission focused? And they are supporting us. Oh my God. Okay, so they're like, that's what we're doing for you. They're like, we are mission focused. We're supporting you. They're mission focused. They're supporting you, Claudia. Lisa says, I feel like I'm just visiting here and find myself getting frustrated with the level of unconsciousness around me. Lisa, many people feel that way, and this actually came through from them earlier in the week, I guess. I don't even know what day it is. God, you guys, maybe this was last week. But they did address this, Lisa, this feeling of like that you're just visiting here and you're not from here. They would like for you to remember that you are from Earth, as well as wherever else you've been living at other points in time. When you are on Earth, you are part of this situation. When you're on Andromeda, the same energy happens. Imagine you're living on Andromeda and you're like, oh, I'm just an Andromedan, but I feel like my real home is Earth. It's the same thing. We have got to start understanding our place in the universe as not an isolated planet that has no connections to anything else, but as part of the universe. You are living in space. You are on a planet spinning around in space. When you're on Earth, you're an Earthling, and that's not a bad thing. Okay? So just remember, you are from here too. And if you can start to integrate that knowing into your being, it will make it so much better. And frustration is to be expected because Aquarian energy is frustrated with things that don't understand big concepts. But your people, whoever they are, will be enough to support you and to keep you sane through these big changes. I'm gonna pull up here and answer these other questions. Claudia says, I'd love to help them too. Claudia, they would just like to remind you that Earth really needs help right now. So all hands on deck over here. So really focus on you, what you're doing here for yourself. And that is gonna be very, very much important. That's where you need to be focused. They don't need our help right now. Maybe later, but not right now. Kate is asking, are my digestive issues, fatigue, and dizziness related to energetic upgrades? Quick pinned disclaimer for all listening on this broadcast tonight. I am not a medical doctor. All advice is taken with a grain of salt and should not be followed if your doctor says to do something else. If you're having any chronic feelings of any sort, please consult your doctor. I am not a medical professional. Just had to say it. Okay, so Kate's asking, are my digestive issues, fatigue, and dizziness related to energetic upgrades? 100%. Root chakra and crown. This is what happens. Your physical bodies interact with sensation in this way. So the upgrades are really aggravating to your physical systems, especially because we have not been operating at optimal level with our physical systems anyway, and which is not our fault. But it makes it that much more of a rocky road to travel when dealing with these immense upgrades. And like I said earlier tonight, if you're listening to this, you're getting the blast, and that means you're being activated fast, which means you are going to experience the symptoms worse than anybody. So yes is the short answer to that. Leanne is asking, are they supporting us through these changes? Yes, they are supporting us through these changes. Any one of you can connect to the Andromedans. They are here and available to you. The reason that, wrong words, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna use my words. The reason that you are tuning in right now is because you're being supported by them. This is a way that they are able to support you, is to kind of come through and interface in a lighthearted and humanistic way. All right, Tina is asking, I'm missing stuff. Okay. Tina is asking, how will my recent brain changes help me? How will you help yourself in light of your recent brain changes? I think we see what's happening here tonight, huh? If you think you're gonna come on here and get some fortune telling advice, think again. Perhaps make a second cocktail. Again, Birth Piece is asking, is it time to change jobs? They are not answering those kind of questions. Those are you questions. Is it time for you to change jobs? Leanne is asking, what is the best way to connect with them for guidance? They're saying, Sarah likes to do it in the shower. Any type of consciously guided connection is fine. Any kind of consciously guided connection. Don't overthink it. Often when you're connecting with any councils or any higher self, star being type things, it will sound like it's you talking to yourself. And it's up to you to trust that that is the case or it is not the case. Do they know how many universes there are? No, they're currently only involved in this one. Lots though, they imagine. What were the pyramids used for? Pause. I need a physical thing to hold on and show you this. Okay. Are you ready? Here's a pyramid. And it's awesome that you asked this question because Ashtar is actually the one who guided us to use this pyramid as a form of communication. So the pyramid was used for a lot of different things, but at its essence, the pyramid is an energetic tool of connection. So for example, when my girls and I are doing connection, we send our energy into this shape at the lower points and then focus our energy moving up through the top. Pyramids are amazing at connecting. So if you imagine yourself at the center of the pyramid and send your energy upward, that's a very amplified way of connecting. Now, if you're talking about the ancient pyramids, they would like to remind you that there's a lot of them, and a lot of them are rising up from the depths as we speak. These were used as communication devices for off-planetary communication and transportation. And also some pyramids were used for manifestation. And we will use them again for that because this is the shape that we can all put our energy into and create with. I hope that answers your question. Rose is asking, was I speaking with one of them in my dream the other morning? I'm sorry, Rosa. I'm just going to say what they're saying. Do you think that you were? Did it feel like you were? Fiza is asking, can we call on them to help with the ascension symptoms? Systems? Is it systems or symptoms? So this is a tricky question because short answer, yes, and somewhat short answer, also no, because you are going to have to go through the ascension symptoms, and there's much learning to be had while you're in this upgrade, because you're learning how your body is so reactive to energetic frequency. And this is actually a lesson that all of us need to understand and know, because we haven't been respecting this up until this point. So understanding that the way the earth is resonating, the frequency of the earth itself, and energy coming in literally affects us on a physical level is kind of a lesson we need, because then it makes us respect energy more. So while they're here to support us and to illuminate some things for us and just to kind of be like, yeah, it's okay, this is happening, this is why it's happening, they can't take the symptoms away, because the symptoms are part of our lessons. I hope that makes sense. Oop, scrolling down. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Hello, hello. Can they tell me what the UFO I saw was when I was 14? Unfortunately not. And this is a interesting thing that's happening, and they would like for me to explain something to you guys, that they are not mind readers. They are not clairvoyants. They are not all-knowing, almighty beings. They simply know how to connect energetically in this frequency with us. So imagine yourself in the future with the ability to, phone home kind of situation. They're not here to read your minds. They are not here to give you the yes or no answers and tell you what's going to happen in the future. They're here to be a support system in the present, as any other teacher or supportive being would be. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Do they like to play pranks? No. They say the fairies do, though. Oh my God, hold on a second. Don't listen to that. Maybe they're lying to me. Hold on, I'm trying to understand what they're saying. Okay. They're just saying that people think fairies play pranks, and fairies say that they shouldn't say that about them, but if you are having tricks being played on you, maybe it was the fairies. Does that make sense? Tina says, how can I best make use of my brain changes to help? Anything that has affected you on a spiritual and emotional level will also come with the ability for you to connect with your inner guidance in a more connected and effective way. So, what has happened to you, Tina, that has allowed you to have a deeper connection with your own intuition and to receive guidance from your higher self? And that would be an amazing thing for you to tap into and to achieve. Amanda says, have they connected with or supported us across past lives too? Curious if this is a reconnection or the first time. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So, and bear with me because I am not a quantum physicist, so I'm translating these concepts as best as I can, but we are in a third dimensional linear time situation that's very unique to Earth. When other beings not currently on Earth connect with us, for them, connecting with us because of their Okay, so some of them actually do have some aspects of time, but it's not the same as ours. It's more of a cyclical time. But when they connect with us, their concept of time is not like ours. So yes, they have been connecting with humans. Okay. Okay, so they're saying this is our first session and they love how we are pushing the boundaries of human thought. But they're basically saying that they are some of us are them. Some of them are us in the future. It's like there's the reason that they look and understand us is because they are us in a much later form. So, I don't really understand what that means exactly, except that Andromeda is not in our galaxy or solar system. So when we connect with beings of Andromeda, our energy is moving through laws of physics and space and time that we don't have any comprehension of at this time. So we're interfacing with beings who have had connection with our DNA for a very long time and are almost like later versions of them, of us. And so there are many Andromedans who are what we call star seeds. They think that's cute. What we call star seeds, who are hybrids, okay? They are with human DNA, with Andromedan DNA, with other DNA, and so on and so forth. So, complicated answer to your question, they've been interfacing with us for quite some time and will continue to do so to help support and assist. And they understand us to a certain level because at some point they were us as well. Like, okay. Whew. They're saying that's too literal. It's too literal. Oh, this is interesting then. They're going to tell you, so for example, apparently I was there and on this council. Or they're like, you are on this council. Okay, so apparently I'm on the council. But I came here now as human to be here in this body and do this work. So a lot of us have made these agreements and have these missions. And we will understand this. We will understand this with continued upgrades. There's so much that our current science doesn't understand about the way things work. But the main thing that they want to express to you is that the main creation vehicle that we have to use is our own minds and humans. And this is interesting, so I'm gonna talk what? Humans are actually the most powerful manifestors. This planet is a manifesting zone. It's like where you would go to hone your manifestation skills because of the way that it is so challenging to move energy into third dimensional space. So once you've mastered it here, you can do it anywhere. And that is coming. Is this making sense to you guys? I feel like I'm jibber jabbering. Back to ascension and ascension symptoms and ascension in general. They want to make sure that you understand that, because the word ascension has a little bit of energy sparkles around it, that touches upon elitism, and they would like to make sure you understand that that's not true, and they would like for you to do your best to endeavor to have compassion and humility for every soul that is currently on the earth plane, and to understand the diverse array of contracts and missions currently taking place. So there is not one, this is strange. There is not one mission. There is not one mission. There's many missions. And this is the place to do this. And so that is why so many of us seem to be at odds with each other. It's because we're on different missions. So what's happening now is we are aligning, and this is why it's so important to be honest about your feelings and honest about what you believe truly, because we are being shown those who are closest to our own alignment in our path, so to speak. We're being shown our people who are in the same frequency, that we can work together at similar goals. Not everybody here has the same goal, but if we're able to locate the large pods of humans who have similar goals, we can create universes here in many different dimensional layers in which to enjoy our experimentation, because that's actually what it is. It's experimentation and experience. And so it doesn't matter about this person not listening to you, or this person doing this and being so annoying. It doesn't matter. When somebody rubs you the wrong way and you don't agree with them, that is your signal that they are not vibrating at your frequency. There doesn't have to be arguments about everything, and they would like to remind you of something you all know, which is that no mind has ever been changed through human mouth argument. Oop, that doesn't sound right. You know what I mean. Whatever. Human mouth argument. Let's make some t-shirts. But that doesn't change hearts. Arguments don't change hearts. The only thing that changes hearts is experience and inner motivation. So in order to affect big change, because they're saying that a lot of you have that as your thought, that you want to affect big change, all you have to do is be a true person in authenticity with your heart, and put yourself around others who resonate in your frequency. and you will automatically create these things and do the things that you came here to do. It will be very easy because you will help each other because you're in the same frequency. Trying to make a person understand you when they are not where you are at is completely impossible. Words don't do that. The only time words affect change is when they hit the hearts of those ready for change. So just like you or I could be, this happens to me on a daily basis, I'm scrolling through something and a meme pops up and it's just like, damn, that meme just totally got me. Those words hit me and affected me because I was ready for that. But you can't force your words on anybody, and you needn't, because it's a waste of energy and it's ego-based. When you try to change somebody, you're in your ego. When you say somebody is wrong, you're in your ego. When you think that your mission in life is to fix other people and to save them, you're in your ego. You can't do that. That's not a thing you can do. If you think you're doing it, you're kidding yourself, and you're involving yourself in either a narcissistic or a, let's just say, unhealthy, imbalanced, energetic relationship. So the gist of what they're trying to say, just to kind of distill that a little bit, is you being your true authentic self, and just like Rosa said, your vibe attracts your tribe. You will pull to you people who have similar trajectories and missions on Earth. And missions is the wrong word also, they're saying, because mission implies like there's a start and a finish to it, and there isn't. This is experience. What? This is experience playground. It's experience playground. They're not clarifying that any further. So, yeah. If we start seeing ourselves as beautiful beings with much to offer, things will be easier. Everything will be easier. If we stop seeing ourselves as lower than dirt, it will be much easier. They don't like lower than dirt. Oh, I'm sorry. The reason they don't like lower than dirt is because they're saying dirt is far more superior in intellect than we think it is. Okay. But you know what I'm saying. If we start to have a higher opinion of ourselves as beings, everything will start to get easier as we start to recognize who we are, what we're trying to do, and all of those things. So, oh my God. I know, Google it. The internet's there for a reason. Okay, they have a few things to tell you about all these transmissions. They said that today was I can't even with them right now. Okay, today was a introduction and a meet and greet. And starting next time, they have specific things that they would like to share. And they would like for you to understand that when you tune into their frequency, they are sending energy to you. And they are sorry? No, not sorry. They were remiss not to say that in the beginning. But they're saying it now. So if you decide to tune in next week, they would like you to understand that you will be receiving frequencies from them, and this will answer some of your questions, which were, are you helping us in the ascension process? Yes, and that is why they are doing this. And you have been receiving frequencies from them throughout this entire transmission. And they do suggest that you get good rest and drink your water. And again, I'm going to say this, but just please remember I'm not a doctor. Look at your zinc I don't know what this word is. Help me. I don't have a science brain. Okay, look at your zinc. What are bioflavins? I don't know what a bioflavin is, but I will be Googling that. They said look at your zinc and bioflavins. I hope one of you knows what that is. I will Google it after this. Anyway, look at your zinc and bioflavins. The upgrades can really drain your minerals. Salt is important. Good salt, sea salt. Bioflavonoids, okay. What is that? Thank you. They're probably like, because I don't know what that is. Okay, so zinc and bioflavonoids. And yes, of course you're tired. It's exhausting. Being upgraded is exhausting. And ideally, one would simply be in a chamber for an upgrade, but there's no time for that. Guess that's true. Oh, interesting. So Modern Mind Explorer is saying that bioflavonoids are plant nutrients, vitamin C. Okay. Why is this making me think like, I don't know. Well, anyway, I guess look at that, look at those things, make sure you're upping those nutrients. I know I just bought a pack of oranges the other day for some reason, so that is really interesting. Pay attention to your cravings. This is me talking, Sarah. Pay attention to your cravings because your cravings are showing you what you need, and so please give your body what it needs. But yeah, that's very interesting. All right, so they are ready to disengage, and I thank you so much for being here tonight and doing this with me and being supportive of all the weird things I decide to do. And they say thank you for being here and for being open-minded and connecting your energies and opening your hearts. They look forward, and I look forward to connecting with you again next week. I don't know what the deal is with them and the cocktails, but they've already sent me the cocktail for next week, which is a martini version of a pina colada. So I'll be posting that at some point next week, so you can join me for that. But yes, thank you so much. And again, if any other questions come to you, please slide into my DMs. How cool am I? Slide into my DMs. So seriously, ask the question and I will answer them on a live video, or we'll save it for this. But send any questions that come always, and I will always answer those on the podcast thing or during one of these. So I love you guys. Happy new moon in Aquarius. You're amazing. You got this. And I will see you tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, Susan Grace will be with us at 11 a.m. So I will not be on here at 8:30. So just remember that. 11 a.m. I'll be streaming on all the ways that I normally do. And Susan is going to be talking to us about our Venus signs. We're going to have a cool chat about that. And if you don't know your Venus sign, I did post a little link calculator so you can find out what your Venus sign is so you can kind of join in. Love you guys. Have a great Thursday night. Mwah!